I get a lot of people asking me how we were blessed to walk away from corporate America in our early 30s. Well, listen, I don't want to keep that a secret. I want to share it with the world. And so maybe you're listening to this podcast and you're trying to figure out how do I even get started on my journey of entrepreneurship and getting to a level of freedom. Well, text the word freedom to 737 777 9909. Enter your information in, and we look forward to sharing some information with you. A proven system with small overhead, right? That you can do part-time, spare time, right from the comfort of your home, and have amazing mentors, coaches, and a community of entrepreneurs who are willing to support you and help you on your journey to freedom. Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like there's got to be more than life than the reality that you see every day? Tune in weekly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we crack the codes to freedom in every area of your life. Welcome to Code Freedom. This is your host, Eddie Bales, and this is episode 200. And I am super duper excited that we are at our 200th episode. This started as something that I just made a decision to do. It was on my birthday a couple years ago, and we're already at 200 episodes, and so we're so thankful, and I'm grateful really for you as listeners, because this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you constantly showing up and listening to something that I have to say that hopefully you get a lot of value from. And so listen, I hope that you spread the message. I hope that you spread the word, because we definitely want to just reach more people. We want to connect with more people, because I just believe that we need to help more people to become free. That's what this podcast is all about. Is called Code Freedom for a reason, because we want you to have all the codes that you need to live your best life, to live the elevated life, to live the life that you're called to live, and not the life that you feel like you sometimes have to live. And sometimes you just need mentors, coaches, or just a voice, right? And so we're thankful to be just one voice of maybe many that can help steer you in the right direction to what you love to achieve, what you want to accomplish in life. And so let's jump right into the episode here today. Today, we're going to talk about one thing, that this one thing is literally going to change the trajectory of your life if you really take it seriously. And it's one thing that most people do not do, but you making a conscious decision to do it, and it's not going to be easy in the beginning, because if you've always done things a certain way up to this point, you don't just like all of a sudden just go in the other direction, and it's not it's easy, right? That's not the way life works. And so we have to get used to things and form the habits and things of that nature. But this one thing I'm going to talk about is going to be critical for your development and for your growth and for your freedom. And so what is it? Well, it's self accountability. See, there's always opportunities for us to point our finger at someone else on why certain things cannot be happening in your life, right? I mean, think about it. You show up late to a meeting and you say, hey, I would have been here sooner, but there was a whole lot of traffic or there was an accident. But what if you flip that around and said, well, yes, there was traffic, or yes, there was an accident, and that was beyond my control. But what was in my control is I could have left earlier. I could have done more to get here on time, right? So it's always something that we can do differently. When people in relationships have issues and challenges sometimes with their spouses, it's so easy to say, well, you do this and you do that and you do this. But what if you said, well, you know what? I could do this better. I could listen better. I could, ask the right questions that could, really allow for a conversation to flow in the right way. I could control, maybe if you have a temper, you could control the temper, or you could, uh, you know, do more in terms of like maybe the five love languages. I'm just giving examples, but what I'm saying is that there's always something that we can do, but it's so easy to put it off on someone else. I mean, I think about, Eve in the Garden of Eve. And, when God comes and confronts Eve, the first thing she says is it was the serpent, right? And then God confronts Adam, and the first thing he says is it was Eve, right? So it's like I think it's probably human nature to blame, or not. I don't even want to say the word blame, but I think it's a flesh thing. I think it's easy to put it off on someone else, rather than to take that self accountability. But it's something that's necessary. It's something that's important, because if we're not taking self accountability, that means it's always someone else's fault why I didn't do this and why I didn't do that. Right? I mean, it's always a, well, I could have been more successful, but the kids, or I could have done this, but I just didn't have the finances or the budget or the money. Look, there's always something that we can do, but we just have to choose to look at what we can do. And to be honest with you, it's really the only thing you can control. Like, you really can't control all the outside circumstances, but you can control what you can control, right? Like, for instance, someone says, maybe you have a business and someone says, man, my business would be doing better if my team did better. But what if you said, well, how can I be a better leader? What can I do to really take the talent that I have and to make it where it gels? What can I do to influence the culture of my team? I heard a quote from somebody and I thought it was so powerful. I'm gonna share it with you real quick. I was listening to another podcast, and I'm big on podcasts, guys. So I'm glad that you're fortunate, really, for you guys to listen to even to our podcast. But I'm still listening to other podcasts myself, and so here's what the guy said. um, they were at a mastermind, and they said anyone that's not producing at a high level, it's my fault because I created the culture, right? And I just thought that was so powerful, because it's true. It's taking a moment to have that self reflection and saying, what can I do better? There's always something that I can do. There's always something that you can do. There's always something that we can do as a people to make sure that our lives are set up in the way we want it to be. So let's take more self accountability. Let's look at what we can do. Let's look at ourselves. Let's not look outward all the time, but let's look inward and say, what can I do differently? What can I do better? How can I improve? I did a social media post, and we've done this episode before, but we talked about great people, great leaders ask great questions. And the quality of your life can be determined by the quality of the questions that you ask yourself. And so, what questions are you asking yourself? And these are just questions that you just want to constantly be thinking of to ask yourself, to make sure that you are doing the best that you can do. So I appreciate you guys. Once again, this is episode 200, and we're so excited that you continue to listen to this podcast. And we just spread the love. Join our community, by the way, our Code Freedom community. You can go to thewaytofreedom.info, and we just love to engage with you as well. So God bless, take care, and we'll see you over the top. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening. Definitely feel free to take a screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me on social media. I would love to give you a shout out. Hey, you might even get a prize. Who knows? But excited that you had a chance to take a listen. I hope you got a lot of value. And definitely feel free to give us 5 stars as well as a review. Show us some love, and we appreciate you. God bless you all, and see you all over the top.